What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about the difference between starting football players and backup football players. So we're going to talk about some things that will help you get more play time no matter what position you play. Now, this is a major difference that I see between guys who get a lot of play time and guys who don't get a lot of play time, is the guys who get play time are simply at every single practice, every single lift, every single team event. Now, I get it. Life can happen sometimes. Maybe you have a death in your immediate family. Maybe you're like really sick. But if you can be at practice, you need to be at practice. And listen, and maybe this is because again, like I said, life happens, and a lot of people get very upset with me when I start saying things like this. But dude, if you're sick and you're not really sick with a fever or a flu, you just have a little bit of a cold, guys, COVID's over. Go to practice. You know what I mean? Maybe stay away from some people. Don't get everybody sick. But at the same time, go to practice. Listen, you need to be there, especially if you're competing for playtime, you guys, because when you don't show up to practice, you are not deemed reliable in the coach's eyes. And I'm just trying to give it real to you guys. You know what I mean? I'm a trainer. So if you miss practice because you're sick, okay, cool, no worries. I'm not going to hold that against you, right? I might a little bit, because if you just have a little cold or you have a little bit of allergies, it's bro, just go to practice, suck it up. You know what I mean? If you're got the flu, different story. But even if you're sick and you physically can't perform, you should probably still go to practice and stay the hell away from everybody, but just still be there, because it shows that you're committed to the team, and it shows that you're reliable. When we need this guy to show up, he's going to show up. But if your dude is missing practices because of appointments, that's one that pisses me off to no end, and I know it pisses off every single coach. I have a doctor's appointment. I have a dentist. Schedule it around practice. That's the way football is, you guys. And I'm telling you this right now, especially you younger guys watching this, when you get to high school, if that's the way you do it in flag or tackle football, hey, whatever, but I'm trying to get you prepared for that high school level, because coaches are not going to let that stuff fly. And most coaches will be like, okay, cool, don't go. Yeah, they'll be like, okay, cool, fine, no worries. But they're going to hold it against you. And when you come back, you're not going to be in the starting rotation. You cannot miss practice. You have to be at every single practice, every single film study, every single lift, because you being there is, again, they say it all the time, you hang around a barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut. You're at every single practice, you're eventually going to get an opportunity if you're working hard and you're doing what you need to do. So make sure you're not a guy that's frequently missing practice, and you'll have a better chance to get more reps. Now, fellas, before we get into the rest of this video, if you are a quarterback or wide receiver watching this and you would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches, we travel out to 15 different cities across the entire country every year for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camps. So guys, if you want to sign up to train with myself and my staff of coaches, go to that very first link in the description below. That's where you could get all the information. Our next camps are going to be in San Francisco, California, Orlando, Florida, Phoenix, Arizona, Columbia, South Carolina. Then we'll be heading out to Seattle, Washington, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Nashville, Tennessee, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Austin, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, Denver, Colorado, Columbus, Ohio, Boston, Massachusetts, Salt Lake City, Utah, and finishing it off in Los Angeles, California. Our camps, guys, are a little bit different than all the other camps out there. It's not give you a t-shirt, go as fast as we can. We actually spend a lot of time with each athlete. We coach you up, tell you what you need to improve on every single rep. That's our main focus. So guys, if that's something you're interested in, you want to get better, you want to improve your game for 2 full days in whatever city that we're coming to that's close to you, go to that very first link in the description below. That's where you can sign up. Hope we could see you there. Now, second main difference between starters and backups is that starters do not make the same mistake twice. Everybody's human, especially on a football field, you guys. Mistakes are going to happen, especially physical mistakes, right? So you make a physical mistake. Let's say you throw a pick. Let's say you're a quarterback, and in practice they told you, hey, on this play you're reading this guy. In a game you screw up and you read the wrong guy and you throw a pick, and it's a bad pick. Go to the sideline. Coaches probably aren't going to be super pissed at you. They're going to tell you, hey, you did this wrong. You need to make sure you fix it. And starters will fix it. They don't make the same mistake twice. What backups do, and this is why a lot of coaches get very frustrated with the backups or the younger guys, is that they will make that mistake. Coaches will tell them, hey, you can't do that. You need to do this. Then they'll go out there and do the exact same thing again. And that is what upsets a lot of coaches. So if you're a guy that wants to get more play time, you need to focus on limiting the same mistake twice. It's okay to make a mistake. I don't even want you guys to be hesitant to make a mistake. I want you guys to go out there and play full speed, full effort, every single rep, but don't be afraid to screw up. Again, don't be afraid to screw up, but if you do make a mistake, learn from the mistake, because that's how you get better, and constant improvement is how you can get your way into that starting lineup. Now, the next mistake that I feel backup players do is that they do not prepare like they are the starter and don't make the most of their opportunities. So I'm a firm believer that you will at least get some type of opportunity in practice, right? How else are they going to evaluate talent? It's not like on day one, they just show up and they're like, these are our 11 guys, the rest of you just go sit on the sideline. Like, you're going to get reps in something, whether that's offense, defense, special teams, positional drills, like film study, weightlifting, whatever the case is. Every single time that you get to do something football related, treat that as an opportunity and you're trying to make the most of it. There's a great quote that I like. It's like the quote goes, perform like somebody's watching you, right? Like somebody's watching you and evaluating you in everything that you do, because somebody is always watching, and also you never know. Like, what you might be just like, somebody might stumble upon, like, okay, he's going really hard in the gym. I like that guy. Maybe I pay closer attention to him when he's at practice. And that's how a lot of guys can get notoriety and attention. Don't be that guy that's like just accepts the backup role. Like, okay, I'm a backup. Like, I don't need to know this. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to really prepare, because you will eventually get thrown into the fire, and being unprepared is one of the scariest things that you guys can have in a football game. Because if you don't know what to do, you don't know how to execute, you haven't done those practice reps, it is terrifying out there, especially if it's a varsity level game, because I've been there before, you guys. This is coming from experience. So prepare like the starter, prepare like you're gonna get a lot of play time, and make the most of every single opportunity. Everything is an opportunity to showcase to your coaches that they can rely on you. Schoolwork, work in the gym, going to film study, and practice whenever you get a chance to do something football related. Practice, drills, one-on-ones, routes versus air, whatever. You need to make sure that you are making the most of that. Now, another massive difference between starters and backups is that starters don't only work out at school or at the facility. They are doing training outside of practice, and a lot of times even during the season they're doing training outside of practice. So I think the mistake a lot of people make is like, oh, well, I'm lifting at school, we have practice, that's enough to do, right? But at the same time, you're doing literally everything the exact same as your competition. So how do you ever expect to get ahead of your competition? Then it just really comes down to like pretty much like natural God-given ability at that point. Because like if you're a receiver and you're going up against another receiver who's maybe a little bit faster, a little bit taller, but you guys just do the exact same things, how are you going to get an edge on that guy because he's already better than you? So you need to understand that like you need to do more. You can always do more. So when you're away from practice, maybe you're working on your hands every night. Maybe you're doing something physical every night, like doing a workout in the gym. Maybe you're doing some core work. Maybe you're studying film. You need to do things outside of practice, especially in the off season if you want to get a leg up. So guys, that means working out multiple times a day. Like, I'm sorry, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, that's overtraining, whatever. Not if you take care of your body and you recover properly. And if you have questions on recovery, feel free, just post them in the comments. You guys, you always know I'm always willing to help you guys out and answer your questions. But what I'm trying to tell you is that you need to take it a little bit more serious away from practice. It shouldn't be practice, then you forget everything. It should be practice. Like, let's say you have an off-season lift, then you go home. You should maybe do some speed work, do some skill work. I'm not saying do all that in one day, but there are options that you can do, because you can always do more to be able to separate yourself from the competition.